It always works out until it always works out until it doesn't. That's the gist of this video. I mean, what do you mean by that? You mean I tuned in for you to tell me something I already know? What are you trying to be condescending? No, I'm really quite serious. Think about this with your life. No matter how big the hurdle, how far you seemingly thought that you failed, if you really fail, we'll come back to that. It always works out until it doesn't. What do you mean, Ayn? As long as you still have breath in your body and another day and you made it through, even if you're in a bad spot now. Still, it didn't always have to be like that. You still made it through that instance. So it always works out. But see, a lot of the times we're so caught up with the stress and we're thinking about whatever we're thinking about. We go, man, I don't know how I'm going to make it through this here. I don't know how I'm going to pay this bill. Man, I don't know how I'm going to fix this car. Man, I don't know how I'm going to come up out of this divorce. Man, I don't know. I just have suffered a great loss. I don't know how I'm going to move on. Well, you have moved on because you made it to today. Now what you going to do to make it to the next day? To go on back to my it always works out until it doesn't. You know when it doesn't work out? You know when it actually doesn't work out for you? You won't even know that it didn't work out because somebody else will be saying it for you. It's when you're incapable of making any more changes. In other words, you're not here any longer. And somebody else is having to speak for you. Hey, I guess that dude made a bad choice. Guess it didn't work out. Story is complete. It didn't work out. Or maybe he worked it out to this point. Maybe he didn't think it all the way through. I don't know, because they're not here for me to ask them. It didn't work out. So that's what I mean about it works out until it doesn't. Now back on that other little tidbit that I told you to hang on at the beginning of that video. When I say that you seemingly fail, you have to look at it like this. If you've envisioned a destination for your journey, no matter how far off or how short it may be, some sort of destination, if you have really clung to that idea, you feel it, you know it, you don't see it any other way than whatever goal or whatever end destination you've pictured for yourself, that's all that you can see. Is that real to you? You've already succeeded. You done embraced it. Hey, it's a done deal. We're just along for the journey. That's what it's all about, is the journey. So on those parts where it seems like you've taken some dives or some nose dives, unless you're actively working against your goal to your destination, hey, maybe you didn't really fall. Maybe it's a part of your journey. It may seem like you've taken a long detour, maybe a turn that you were unaware of. How many times have you been driving and you've really been trying to get to your destination? You're not just carelessly, just throwing it into the wind on, hey, I just think the place that I'm trying to go is in that direction. I'm going to just drive. You're really trying to get to that destination. You've actually taken an accidental turn. You've taken a turn by accident. You're like, oh, man. You didn't mean to do it. See, that's the reason why you got to change your self-talk and not be beating up on yourself on simple things that we all do, because we're imperfect. Sometimes we're making the best choices that we can with what we have on the table, and you're trying to make it work, so you can't be beating up on yourself. And sometimes it's all right to, step to the side, make a lateral move. You may even have to stop, gather your thoughts. You may even need to backstep some steps so you can get your footing up about you to keep on your destination. So that's the reason why I asked, did you really fall? Or was it just a part of the journey? See, it's on how you look at it and how you do your self-talk and what you're feeding yourself, so you can get back on that horse and keep riding. Now, I try to look at things from, even when they're seemingly negative, And before I go down this path, I want to make sure, because it's already creeping up in my head. I don't even want the stench of just thinking that it's just, oh, everything is just positive, that toxic positive. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about looking realistically at things and really making use of what you have on the plate. So before I even go down that path, that's not the tree that I'm barking up. But what I was getting ready to say is even when some things don't work out in my favor, I try to look at them as, hey, what path did this put me on? Maybe I wasn't meant to go this way, that I, kept bumping my head up against the wall. Or maybe this here, maybe it doesn't look like it's the best right now, but what can I do to turn this around? What moves do I need to make? Take it back to me, okay? How can we pivot on this? Okay? So you don't have to look at it as, oh man, made a mistake. I done failed. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to take me a good 10, 15 minutes, or if you're translating over the real world time, 10, 12 months, 10, 15 years to sit up here and beat up on myself on that left turn that I took in Albuquerque. Okay, we all take left turns, right turns. Sometimes we do complete circles, end up back where we were, and have done it, and it's taken us years to do it. But what you're trying to figure out is, how do I get out of this rat race? How do I get out of this loop? How do I get out of this figure eight? How can I get back on the path that I need to continue upon? That's what it's about. It's all about your perspective on how you looking at things. So that's why I say it all works out. It'll work out. It will work out. But you got to recognize on the inside on what do you want to do to move forward? What do you want to do to learn from this? That's the reason why when I'm talking about those mistakes and not beating up on yourself and just chalking it up to experience. Okay, I don't want to do that again. If I can help it, then my control, I don't want to repeat that mistake. So let's not try to do anything that plays in the field of how I may have erred at that portion of my life. Right? So, yeah, it worked out. I mean, it was a bad situation, but it worked out. I'm here. That old saying, you know how I feel about the sayings on this channel, but I'll stand by that one. That old saying, hey, at least I live to tell the tale. That's what I'm ending this video off on. In the video, stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged. My name's Ayin. Y'all have a good one.